Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal! Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, it's been a while since we had Mr. Michael Weikath. Is that the proper pronunciation, Weikath or Weikath?
Weikath.
Weikath.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. It's like no one's ever going to learn it, and it doesn't matter. And, Weikath sounds like a lot more professional. And, if you say Weikath, you can also say, why not Cath?
Okay. Last time we spoke, you were in the back of your tour bus years back in Montreal. And, it was a pleasure speaking to you then. It's going to be a pleasure speaking to today. I'm really excited. I just saw your recent tour. You came to Montreal, Canada. I think it was the only Canadian date. And it was such a spectacle to see Pumpkins United. And, of course, the CD is going to be released October 4th. United Alive in Madrid. 3 CDs, and you could buy different packages, DVDs, BluRays. Michael, when we spoke to you in 2013, you were just talking to Michael Kiske back then. And it's to see how far it's come along. It's just shocking to me. How did all those wounds heal, and how did your group move forward? Because other bands could never do this. Only you guys could pull this off.
Yeah, that's maybe true. It's just that, we have a different outlook and we have a different upbringing. So it's like that whole school system in Germany is quite different, and the Michael Kiske, he has like that new age approach towards things, and he wants to be a wise character. He's thinking karma and stuff, and I'm doing the same. We used to be best friends in the past, and we were just following different ways of recognizing what is truth, or what is the overall thing, that unites humankind, or what is universal truth and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so, it doesn't become as well, if we have a talk in Metal Fest France and whatever, and he's always talking about that stuff, and I'm trying to impersonate it in a way, then, it would be fucking meager, puny and weak, if we couldn't sort out that stuff, if he wasn't, capable of going like, yeah, Weiki, that's all we just needed. We just needed a little talk, and, we know each other so well from earlier, and he thinks, and, I think so too, there's been some kind of, demons coming into the whole thing, that fucked everything up. Right? Yeah. Or whatever went down back then. We don't know. We can't quite recuperate that. We can't say that was that. We can't put the finger on it. I mean, there may be reasons that I said in interviews, and there may be reasons that he talked about and stuff. But in fact, we don't really know how that came about. How people like us can get into onto the wrong track, and then just do this to each other, and it's like a big burden that you have to carry around with yourself for no use at all, right? And then, just to be fucking right, just to be on the cool side, just to be the one that's Mr. Right, and the other one ain't. Yeah. And then names come to mind of other famous bands, where you would go like they will never make it.
Van Halen, Sam and Dave, right? I mean, they would never get together and do something like this.
Something like that. It's just, I saw a video on YouTube where they were talking about exactly that, and then like Dave said, let Sammy come, and we're gonna do stuff together. I don't mind, I don't care. Then I don't know what's getting out of that. It's just I've been thinking of Van Halen right today when I woke up. Yeah, I was like, what's their reunion? What are they doing? I mean, what's been that album with the railway they had? Yeah, I thought it was okay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not very unexpected and stuff. I mean, that was kind of like playing it safe.
Band like Anthrax, they had Joey Belladonna, John Bush. They're talking about bringing them both on stage, and things fall apart. But for you guys, Andy Darris, the man, Michael Kiske, the man, and everybody just did it for the better of everyone, the greater good.
That's also by ways of the management. Like, we have a very good management, and before, I mean, also trying to put things together with the Kai Hansen and the Helloween and
I forgot about Kai. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even that would have been near to impossible if you have separate management. It's the same freaking management.
There you go. And I should have said Kai Hansen as well. Sorry, I left him out. But it takes three strong individuals and to lower their egos to get up on stage and share the stage. And I saw the show. I think it's probably one of my favorite shows this year. Definitely, hands down. I was so blown away. Away.
But the thing is, each and every one in that band, he can stand there for himself. I mean, you don't have to cover all there is on the space of a stage, because there's enough space for 7 of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Just go out, do your fucking job, and do it, and be yourself.
What was the decision? Like, whose decision was it to say, okay, we're not going to call the band Helloween, we're going to call it United Pumpkins or Pumpkins United? Is that just sort of so everybody's happy, so there's no sort of conflicts moving forward?
I don't think so. It's just, it says Pumpkins United and Helloween, right? This just for the sake of people who got to know the band much later, and they had no connection to the original Helloween band. No, sometimes it was like they got the Gambling with the Devil, and then they found out there was quite a different lineup before.
Yeah.
And that's the way things go, right? I mean, when I got the first few Deep Purple and Uriah Heep, I also had to find out, they had a bass player called Gary Sane who electrocuted himself, and then they had that Mick Simper and on bass or whatever before, and they had an album called April, Deep Purple, right? And then there were all those people.
Yeah.
And they all tell a different story.
Why would you tell everybody, pick up this live CD, DVD, Blu-ray? Why should people pick this up?
It's the culmination of all that stuff, that maybe we didn't play so well in the past. When we were out there, these 80s, they were like crazy conditions and lots of stress. And then you had to go there and somehow cope with equipment that didn't quite work, stuff. And camera teams, difficult times, too much booze and stuff, maybe everyone too self-centered or whatever. I mean, we have those old recordings of the Hells on Wheel tour, but I was freaking fat because I've had lost the testicle, and the hormones in me inside were going freaking crazy, and I added 20 kilos to my angelic appearance, from before, and that's the way I looked, like a freaking dump ass.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't make me feel very proud. I mean, being there with the double chin, playing on that black and white Explorer, I mean, I felt like some dick.
Will it ever be released, a Hell on Wheel tour with Helloween? It was you guys, Grim Reaper, and Armored Saint, right?
Pretty good, but I think it'll be quite difficult, same as Deep Space Nine or something. It was never shot in HD. It was never in high resolution. So what you have there will be what was your freaking system there?
Oh, VHS beta.
45 lines, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you about now the new album. All right, so I guess it's shaping up. You guys are writing music. What kind of musical direction is this going to go into now? You have so many different members.
Yeah, but there's going to be just, I think, 5 guys actually doing some. I mean, the Michael Kiske is not going to compose much, except whatever he thinks will get into consideration of the pre-production we're going to start in end of October. There will be 3 months of pre-production and quotation marks, where we will arrange, brainstorm, do stuff, try things for new song material. And then whatever is cool is going to be kept, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even for the main recordings later on, whatever is good will be kept and make it on the record, and the rest will be added and
So
done.
would you say it's a continuation of my God-given right? Is that the direction you like? Is a mindset too, right? Of which direction you want to head into, or whatever comes out.
Yeah, the God-given right was done quite a different way. We had 25 tracks, and the producer picked the ones that he thought were the most worthwhile and easiest to do, and bam, you had that album ready, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just need to record all the ready-made demos that we had, and this time we have a lot more fragments and stuff because it's wanted by a fraction of people that we do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And eventually there's going to be some great stuff. I just know it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take some time, but that's probably a great approach if we're all not too old for it, or if we're all not too uncool for it or something. But I don't think so. I mean, there will be something. We have the we have the Charlie Bauerfeind and the Dennis Ward as producer team.
Yes. Yes.
So there's got to be something coming out of it. The Ward knows the Unisonic, the way they worked.
Yeah.
He's been part of the band himself, and he knows how to arrange things and record things and even come up with great results under the most difficult circumstances. And so is the Charlie. He's like the main organizer, Centurio of Pro Tools and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's gotta do some.
And now, I mean, it's going to be an explosion of ideas. I would think you're going to have trouble, like, you're basically refusing people ideas at this point. I'm sure there's going to be an influx of so much creativity going this time around.
Yeah, could be. And then it's like this. I mean, I wrote 3 complete tracks that you just need to record the way they are. And so you're not left with all of this. I mean, the Sasha came up with a few things. The Marcus finished a few tracks. And if it's just for the Hansen and the Darius, who were doing more or less fragments, right? But then you go there and you add some stuff. You add some parts. You get creative, and that's what they at least want. And so that's the way we're going to do it. I
So,
mean, we
yeah,
did used to do that because there was no other way in the beginning because we didn't know any other ways.
yeah, yeah.
And then that can be worth it.
Revisiting the old gems on the next go around on the tour. Maybe changing up the set, doing something different. Now that, you could dig into maybe, more Walls of Jericho. I don't know. Maybe jump into other stuff that you haven't played on this tour.
Yeah, exactly. Something like Twilight of the Gods or whatever there is. If there's people who want to hear Save Us, then we just rehearse that. Stuff that we couldn't do on this because it was already 3 hours and there was just like this amount of details that you can crank into your head and remember and play right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And next time round, it's going to be different. Yeah, there's enough stuff to pick from.
Kiski and Hansen now. I mean, is this full steam ahead moving forward? Is this the band moving forward in the future, or is this a short-term thing, or just see how it goes? What are the plans in terms of holding the band together as it is?
Well, we all pretty much feel great, and so we're going to keep it that way as long as it goes. From what I understood and from what I heard, I mean, I even asked, I said, like, how long are we going to do this? And the thing is, we're going to try as long as it lasts,
Okay. Well, looking back at your career, I mean, you've like, I can't even believe how much great music you've brought to us. When you look back, like, what is your favorite album and why? Looking back at your whole catalog.
Yeah, that's too difficult because the last few ones we've done, be it the Gambling with the Devil, what was the one before? I don't know.
Straight Out of Hell, Seven Sinners, Gambling with the Devil.
And that, they were all kind of like the same shot and it was like the same identity. And for me, that doesn't matter what track on which album of any of these that we've done, right? And the God-given right and whatever there was, it was all kind of like the same thing. And then whatever, I mean, the walls of Jericho will always stand there as the most extreme and intricate piece of madness that's been materialized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you will have the glorious Keeper albums where everyone said, "Oh yeah, this is it," and stuff. But being involved in like all these, it's just like a photo album you want to open, and then you have a look at each and everything. That's what went down there, and this and stuff, So I don't care.
Any regrets from any albums? Like, I mean, okay, we've talked about Chameleon and Pink Bubbles, Go Ape in the past. Do you kind of look at them a little more favorable today than you did back then?
Well, I even looked at it favorably back then. It was just, I thought it could have been even better. I mean, the Chameleon could have been better with even more different approaches and stuff, but it was the result of what was there at the time.
Yeah.
And the intentions we had with it, that wouldn't have been bad. It was just like, we were lambasted with debts of the amount of 2 million Deutschmarks and stuff.
Jeez.
And we were just trying to get rid of that somehow. And we thought if we make it commercial, I mean, just yesterday I listened to a few covers that people have done of the Windmill track, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's people who love it and enjoy it, and they dream away with it, and they even cover it. I mean, there was that one girl who did a beautiful version with the banjo underneath, and I don't know if she played the banjo or someone else, but that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? It's truly amazing how music changes and people appreciate things over the years, or don't,
yeah.
right?
Well,
or
then,
don't.
The living ain't no crime I did, that's kind of like a crime song, but it's like I heard it yesterday on YouTube because there were some guys who did that as like an unplugged version on acoustic instruments, and I thought, I mean, what makes these people do this? Right. I listened to the melody and I thought, like, man, that's like kind of Simon Garfunkel. I didn't even know I can do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what moved me to come up with that crappy track, that people like so much, and we even played it live. How did I make the band play it and enjoy it? We played it on the Keeper 2 tour, and it was a freaking success. With the people, when you were playing it in the venue, people loved it. It was just like Def Leppard or something. And then it's like, what made me do this crap? I don't know.
How about the Dark Ride? When you look back at that album today, like what memories does it conjure, like bring up?
It's always been a great product, but it's not Helloween, right? And it was the idea to, cater to grunge and the American way of doing new metal or whatever, and be mean and be bad and be black and be Metallica or who else, right? But that wasn't Helloween. And then considering everything, I mean, it's a damn good product, right? And for what you have with all the diversity you have in this band, that's just great for us in the future. You can do whatever you wish. We can go and do, if there's millions of people looking at what we are doing, then we can go, and here's a treat. We're going to do something you never expected, but we're not going to do that. Well, we're going to play it safe in the future. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. How about Keeper of the Seven Keys? You did part 3. I mean, would you ever consider doing a part 4?
Yeah, but wouldn't that be bland?
I don't know. You got 3. I figure maybe there's 4, right? I don't know.
No, we could, and 5 and 6.
Like Rocky, right? I mean, you could go on forever.
Then the Keeper 6 was the best.
That's right. That's pretty much. Is there anything you want to tell everybody about, the new record, the new album, the new tour, the live album that you'd like to tell your fans?
It was magic, and like wherever we went, it was amazing. People had a great time. They were crying in droves, and even us, we had a hard time, resisting that sometimes when you see like 2 rows of people crying,
Wow.
losing it completely, and then what you're gonna do, right? I mean, that touches you, and then you go with your routine on your stage and you're playing all that stuff and all the moves are great. And then this is just pure magic,
Yeah.
right? And then you may talk about what's been old times, what's hard rock, what's heavy metal, what's power metal. That doesn't matter. It's just because you have a room full with 15,000 people in Mexico City and you play that and you go there and do it, or you have the 8,000 people in Madrid or the 5,000 or what it is in Sao Paulo, and then there's just no stopping, and that's why. And that's why everyone has a great time. Then in the end, they go and buy themselves a freaking expensive T-shirt, for
Yes.
commemorating it,
Yes. Yes.
souvenir. Because I had such a great evening, I wanted that damn T-shirt or this damn cap. I'm going to
Yes.
keep this for remembrance.
Yeah, yeah. October 4th, that's when you're going to get United Alive in Madrid. I've heard it, and it brings me back to the amazing show that I saw. And, there's a lot of little stuff going on. There's a lot of intricate little changes between the songs. Not to change the song, but sort of to enhance the song and make it feeling more live. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. That there is a
No,
lot of
that's,
little
I mean,
intricates.
that's what's been going down and what took place, and this is what was there. And then you just, yeah, record it and ban it on video and somehow edit it on some digital video thing, and then you put it onto Blu-ray, and then maybe that's catching what was there,
Yeah,
right? Could be.
exactly.
Could be. I mean, there's been less things, that make people excited, like a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, I will never get it, how these people can remember all the freaking dates where Mr. X Epsilon, hit base and whatever,
Yeah, it's
and
true.
then, he swung the ball and ran it like 300, I don't know, acres or whatever, and no one could catch it, and people remember even that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. I appreciate your time. I look forward to the new album, the new tour, and the live album. Thank you so much today, Michael. We will talk soon.